There we go. There we go. Sorry about that. Trying to troubleshoot the technical difficulties. And again, you know, this show, and I hope that you see the lighting is. I'm going to go out on a limb, and I'm going to say the lighting is probably perfect. Now, do I have green on me? Do I have any green edges, green fringes, or whatever? You know, we're going to have to inspect the video. I'm looking at the field monitor, studio monitor over there, and I'm popping on studio monitor 2 of 2 out of my left. So, So what you're seeing right now is the product of many failures, the product of multiple failures. So, you know, I'm trying to get this light perfected. So what I've got now, and I am surrounded by Godox. Now, if you don't know what Godox is, check out my video, but I've got a Godox right there. I've got a Godox right there. I've got a Godox right there, and I've got a Godox right over there. So, you know, basically what I'm trying to do is make sure that my key light, now in this situation I've got 2 key lights because I did have one and part of my face was lit, the other side wasn't, and it kind of looked, you know, it kind of looked wonky. So, you know, my goal here is to create as professional of a live stream as I can. You know, obviously keeping in mind it's IrixGuy's Adventure channel, you know, independent YouTube channel, you know, not the budget that a lot of these channels have, but because of your viewership and your support, your Patreon and your super chats and, you know, and all the good things that, you know, the comments that you leave, it makes this stuff happen. So, you know, I'm sitting here, you know, I am proactively working to march forward with this channel. I mean, this is not a slow walk. This is not a, you know, this is not a lazy stroll. You know, this is a mission. And I am hell-bent upon hitting 100,000 subscribers ASAP, but that's not the end. That's not anywhere close to the end. There's no end. You know, 100,000 subscribers is a signal of growth. And right now I'm at approximately, let's say it's approximately 75,000 subscribers, which isn't that big. There's a ton of YouTube channels that are a lot larger, but it is a signal of growth. So what we're going to do is we're going to hop right in. I've had a lot of questions, and again, I've still got a lot of Mavic Air 2 in the field videos that I've got on my to-do list. I've been trying to do as many of them as I can. I've got, you know, like usual, I've got a lot of projects that I'm working. You know, I'm a busy dude. I like to do as much as I can, and you know, it's a constant quest to, you know, let's see, let me pop open this chat here. I got too many windows open here. But yeah, it's a constant quest to, you know, to incubate and create new ideas and make those ideas happen. You know, not, you know, dream up the idea, incubate the idea, and then, you know, how can this idea scale? So, you know, there's been a lot of that, and, you know, and obviously business has temporarily distracted me a little bit from the live streams. I've had, and I'm going to go into it in a future show, but there's some things that I'm putting together that I think everybody's going to be like, man, that's, you know, I hope you think that's really cool. Tonight we're supposed to have Eloak, the founder, the developer, and founder of Eloak, which is the new social media network that is, it is privacy centric. You know, it's a network that, you know, if you use a lot of social networks now, you've probably found that the, you know, that the privacy aspect of it is probably, you know, probably not acceptable. You know, if you care about privacy, you've probably found that, you know, a lot of, you know, and I'm not going to badmouth any of the social media networks because you know which ones they are. I'm not talking about YouTube, but, you know, the other ones. And, but yeah, the founder of Eloak, Rob, is going to, it's gotten pushed back to next week. He had to go over to Amsterdam. He's got some colleagues over in Amsterdam. He had to go over there and do a little a little meet and greet. When you're in that type environment, you've got to have all of these PR pieces as well. It's not just a develop the next big social media network and march forward. It's more of a, okay, well, I'm the developer. I'm also the founder. I've got people in Amsterdam that need me. They want to sit down and have a face-to-face, this, that, and the other. So, it's pretty cool. I mean, to think that someone that, that is developing the next big social media network, to think that the next person that's doing that is, already going overseas to meet with people. I mean, dude, Oak is in its infancy, and this sucker is about to pop so hard you have no idea. And if you haven't subscribed to the Oak email updates, you can if you choose to do so. It's, let me get the link for everyone. I'm going to post it here in the chat. Just a second. I'm going to type it in, and I'm going to share this with everyone. I know a lot of y'all opted in and checked it out, last week. But if you haven't already signed up, please consider doing so, because it's going to be big. And the coolest part about it is it's not just that it's going to be big, but it's this is a situation. Infused Adventures, welcome aboard, sir. Welcome aboard. Happy Friday, TGIF. You know what that stands for. So, yeah, welcome aboard. I hope everyone can hear me okay. This microphone solution, again, I'm constantly trying to improve. I've got this mic wired up. I hope, and I got out of the shower and my face is kind of shiny from these lights. That's something I've got to do. I've got to talk to my hair and makeup staff and say, hey guys, y'all got to put some stuff on and make, because I see right there, so you can see that shine. You can see that shine on my face. I'm not greasy. I'm not sweaty. I just got out of the shower. Sometimes when you do that, you just get this look. But the good thing about this is that I am personally convinced, and again, what I think doesn't matter. What y'all think matters, because y'all are the viewers. Hybrid Life just got the new Batman. What is that? BLRNO or BLRO? Batman. Sub no date. Dude, Batman. Brad, welcome aboard, sir. Welcome aboard. Hybrid, congratulations on the Batman. That's a cool piece. Did you go? Well, you said Batman, so you went with the obviously with the Oyster bracelet instead of the Jubilee, because the Jubilee would be called the Batgirl, right? Oh wait, no, the Jubilee. Sorry, yeah, the Jubilee would be the Batgirl, and the Batman is the Oyster bracelet. That's cool. So how do you like it so far? Does it fit well? Do you like the GMT complication? That is cool, man. That is a cool score. And that's a it hasn't been mentioned as a reference that's going to be discontinued soon, but I don't know if you've heard the Hulk. The Green Submariner, and again, you can't really necessarily believe what all the authorized dealers, the ADs, tell you, but there's a lot of well, not speculation. Well, I guess it would be speculation, but there's a lot of people saying that yes, not the Batman, but the Hulk, the Green Submariner with the date, with the ceramic bezel, they're saying it's about to be discontinued. So, and then also, I don't know if you read the Rob report or whatever, but September of 2020, Rolex is going to unveil rather, another reference. And there's a lot of speculation pointing to the fact that probably the Submariner no date, I'd call it no date, but just the Submariner 114060 is probably about to be discontinued, and they're probably about to refresh the Submariner line with a newer movement. So, that's kind of cool. To be frank, man, I mean, you said you got the Batman today, Hybrid. I mean, I think that's a good thing, because this hobby is, it's getting it's super expensive. So, for you to have gotten in when you did, that's cool because, I mean, honestly, man, I mean, this stuff, I think what we're seeing here, and it's funny, this live show's turned into a wristwatch discussion, but I think it's funny what we're seeing here. We're seeing the setup for Tudor to become the new Rolex, because in the past, Tudor, and if you're not familiar with Tudor, Tudor is a sister company of Rolex. So the founder, Hans Wildorf, he founded Rolex, but he also founded Tudor. And in the early days, Tudor was, and it's spelled Tudor. It may sound like I'm saying Tudor, but I'm saying Tudor, like two doors. But when they originally created Tudor, oh, you got the Jubilee, so you dude, you didn't get. Hey, I'm gonna correct what you said. You said you got the new Batman GMT. Technically, in slang terminology, because you got the Jubilee bracelet, you didn't get the Batman. The Batman would be on an oyster, like this type of bracelet. Since you got the Jubilee, you got the Bat Girl. I mean, that's not an offensive comment. That's just they call the Bat Girl the black and blue GMT master that's on a Jubilee bracelet. They call that the Bat Girl, and then they call the Batman is the black and blue on an oyster style bracelet. Yeah, Hybrid, you're set, man. I mean, from an investment potential, those two pieces, especially with the Hulk about to be discontinued, and the Batman probably won't be far behind. Those two pieces, those are two core references. As far as collectability is concerned, those are two, highly collectible references, and that's that is great to have those core and desirable references in a collection, because a lot of people, including myself, and again, the first real being Swiss automatic watch, the first real watch that I picked up, and I think it was around 2000. I was probably around 20 years old or whatever. I bought the Submariner, not Submariner. I bought the Seamaster 300M, which was pre-coaxial Omega. It had the blue wave dial. It was pre-coaxial, and I think it's is it a 41 millimeter? I'm pretty sure it's 41. It's got the helium release valve on the side, and I bought that purely because I wanted a real watch, and also the fact that it was one of the James Bond watches. I mean, you track back to James Bond. Omega Seamaster was a huge piece. Obviously, also the the Rolex Submariner, that was a big piece associated with Bond, and it's one thing about this addiction is realizing there's a bunch of different watchmakers out there. There's watchmakers that are top tier, but they often release dog references, dog being just an undesirable piece. So as a beginner wristwatch collector, I was thrilled that I made the decision to get the the Seamaster 300M, because I could have gone with a very bad option. I mean, Omega's got a lot of junk. I mean, I'm not bashing Omega, but I'm just saying Omega releases a lot of junk, and they also release a lot of highly collectible pieces. And I think if you're doing Omega, there's a few things that you need to stick with. You need to stick with Seamaster, and I'm not talking about all the the newer reference Seamasters. A lot of those get kind of crazy. But yeah, Hybrid, we need to pull you in. I don't know if you're going to be around tomorrow, but maybe tomorrow we can pull you into a live show. Is there a time tomorrow, man? I mean, obviously not during the day, but tomorrow evening, not late, but just kind of, is there a particular time that would be good? Maybe we can do a live show and and talk about wristwatches. I think that would be a cool I think that would be a cool show. You know, it would be really cool, and obviously I'm linked up with him really well on YouTube. I could get AC3, and I doubt I could get them tomorrow, but I could check with him and see if maybe we could get AC3, Archibald Chesterfield III, on you know, on an upcoming live show. You know, I think that would be cool. So yeah, I mean, it's really you know, that dude, that's an awesome. I think the Jubilee, honestly, with the Batman, I think the Jubilee, I think he made the best decision, because you know, the Jubilee on the Pepsi or the Jubilee on the Batman, I mean, that just, in my opinion, that sets it off. And, you know, it gives it that that really cool look. And I mean, you got that, so you got your Jubilee with your Batman, and then you've got your Oyster on your Hulk. I think that's as AC3 might say, that's a combo meal deal. You know, that's a really good combo there. So yeah, but it's interesting to see where the industry is heading, and it's, you know, it's also funny, and some people in the some other people in the watch collecting community, you know, we were chatting about stuff, and you know, how's the current situation, you know, this pandemic, and I don't want to dwell on that, but you know, how is the current situation going to you know, going to impact people going forward? You know, how are people's hobbies going to change? How are people's interests going to change? This, that, and the other. And you know, it's one of those things when you've got you know, it's, you know, I hate to say, you know, back to the basics, but it's kind of a back to the basics type of thing. You know, in the earlier days, you know, people enjoyed, you know, being at home, collections. You know, remember collecting baseball cards, remember collecting, you know, whatever. And collecting wristwatches is just another type of, you know, yeah, it's another type of collection that one can pursue. And I mean, it's like most any other type of collection. I mean, you know, there's, whether it's baseball cards or whatever, you know, there's all different points of entry. So, you know, depending upon, you know, how much you want to throw at a collection, you know, you can choose to do it. I mean, you can choose to go top dollar, you can go mid-range, you can go bottom dollar, but regardless of, you know, how much you choose to throw into a collection, I mean, you can still get variety, you know, whether it's top tier variety, mid-range variety, or bottom tier variety. I mean, you can still get variety. So, I mean, it's kind of a cool thing. Hybrid Life says next weekend would be great. Is that okay? Yeah, man. I'd love to have you on. Let me know. Honestly, a week, probably the best thing would be a week from today. Excuse me, if you're available then. And just, yeah, let me see. Let me put a note in my, and I will tell you, excuse me, I got the hiccups. I think it would be, I don't know if you follow AC3, but, you know, obviously his format's changed. And again, I found AC3 #1 because I was researching wristwatches after the Omega Seamaster, and that was in the early 2000s. And then I found his videos, and some of them are way out there. But what he's done recently is that he has pivoted. If you watch any of his recent videos, you know, he's gotten away from all of the crazy, I mean, just it's just super crazy content. Has nothing to do with wristwatches, as he would say, wristwatches whatsoever. You know, he's gotten back to where he uses zero profanity, which obviously would make him acceptable to be on my channel. Now, if he wants us to be on his channel, you know, if you're up for that, I'm definitely up for joining his channel as well. I mean, I have no problem with doing that. You know, really cool dude. I mean, as far as I would say as far as wristwatch content on YouTube, I mean, he's inevitably #1. I mean, there's a lot of people out there that do it. And there's a lot of people that put a lot of production quality into their videos. They do a really good job. But as far as just shooting the breeze to someone that, you know, that they vacated their studio, their YouTube studio, to have it fumigated to remove the carpet beetles. I mean, that's that's a pretty interesting individual. But yeah, I'm up for that, man. Let me see what I can get up for next weekend. You know, either Friday or Saturday if you're available either day. I mean, I'll have to see what the what the calendar is for my channel, but I can be pretty loose. Speaking of that, do I have any green on my shoulders or my hair? Do I need to adjust the? It's hard to tell on my studio monitor. I'm trying to see if I've got. Trying to make this stuff, man. I'm trying to make it as perfect as I can. And it's, I'm using the Blackmagic ATEM Mini Pro, which has been awesome, man. Because see, all of this stuff, if you're not on the host end of the live stream, you don't see all of the stuff that goes in from a production standpoint. And I mean, now, I've got to work on the workflow. I've got to improve it. It's not 100% perfect, but I did start out tonight. If you notice, when the show started, I had those little bars, like you see on a legitimate production. You had those little bars, and then the intro came in. Now the transition from the intro to the main show was far from perfect. So there's some knowledge to be learned to perfect that. But my goal with this is to have this. And this background, I think, is probably looking good. Y'all tell me. I think this lighting, looking at my preview, and actually, let me full screen. See, I can full screen my preview to. Okay, that's the preview. Yeah, man, that chroma key is actually quite convincing, and so is that zit, man. I got that zit right there. I've been on a diet this week, and the diet's just been, well, Hybrid Life, I like to hear that. The diet's just been pretty much eating whatever I want to eat. And again, I'm not, I'm always here to share what I've found throughout the daily journey. But anybody out here that may also use an American Express card, and again, Google it, see if you've got it. But they sent me this offer, and I'm like, okay, whatever. But the offer was basically, if you, it was for shop local. So it's not just food, it can be, like a local clothing shop or a local restaurant or whatever. But the gist of it was that, if you shop local and you spend $10 or more, and if it's a participating local business, then you're eligible for $5 back. So I've been pretty much eating chicken wings all week. I've been eating chicken wings, and now I guess because of the chicken wings, I'm getting these zits because of all the grease. I don't know how that happens, but it's Hybrid Life. Yeah, either Friday or Saturday. That sounds good, man. Just trying to make this content as exciting as possible. I got the studio. Again, you said you found my channel because of the wristwatch reviews, and I think that's really cool because I'm by no means an expert. I'm just somebody that has been obsessed with it since an early age, and like I said, the first real Swiss watch that I got was the Omega Seamaster 300M, which I still have, and the bezel's faded like crazy. It's a lot of people say it's got an awesome patina. Actually, a lot of collectors are like, man, that's got a great patina to it. And that's just the result of going out and drinking and, being in hot tubs and being on beaches and just drinking and having a good time and letting that bezel fade. What I do have to figure out, you've probably noticed in the background here, that little, every time my backdrop loops, it pops up the play status bar or whatever, and that needs to be fixed because that background is just playing from an Apple TV, so I've got to work on this. But as the old saying goes, Rome was not built in a day, and this channel was not built in a day either. So there's a lot of refinement, and it doesn't have to be hyper refined. I know so many people that they get so wrapped up with audio quality and video quality, which I agree, it's both are super important, but they become so obsessed with audio quality and video quality that they don't take the time to film a video. They don't take the time to host a live show because they don't feel that everything's perfect. I'll be the first one to admit some of these live streams have been pitiful because, you know, there's been audio issues, camera issues, but, you know, if one doesn't take the time to troubleshoot and work to perfect, it's stupid. I mean, you know, you gotta learn from the mistakes. You gotta learn from not only the mistakes, but you gotta learn from what's working well. And what's working well, but what could be better. And you know, that's the beauty of running your own YouTube channel, is that you can go out and you can say, okay, well, this is pitiful. You know, this is decent. This is great. But you know, how can I make it all better? And you know, and that's the thing. I mean, I am absolutely, you know, part of the thrill of this live show. I mean, obviously the biggest thrill is having y'all and y'all's comments. And Hybrid Life, by the way, is commenting away, but we've got a quiet crowd, man. We got a lot of people in here. You know, speak up. You know, you can comment below. And, you know, this is a live show. If you're watching this at approximately 9 p.m. New York City time, this is a live show. So, yeah, I mean, it's just, it's, you know, it's one of those things you just gotta poke around and figure out what works and what sticks. And that, I mean, that's the beauty of this. Speaking of that, man, Mavic 3, you know, we've seen the, you know, you probably heard, and I got my Epic Drone Show t-shirt on, even though this is just IrixGuy's live show. But, no, it's in a t-shirt. This is a polo shirt. But, yeah, you probably heard that they've refreshed the Mavic 2, you know, just a mild refresh. But it's still a refresh of the Mavic 2. So that's kind of cool. And, you know, that signals to me, again, you know, a lot of us were pondering, is DJI going to release another drone during calendar year 2020? And the answer is probably no. And, you know, that is reinforced by the fact that, you know, that DJI just refreshed their Mavic 2. That to me suggests that, hey, you know, we've got a great product. We want to continue to sell our units. You know, let's give it a mild refresh and let's sell all of our old stock, and then let's bring Mavic 3 to the table. So my expectation is that we'll probably see Mavic 3 first quarter or second quarter of 2021. Again, just an educated prediction. I have no inside information. I tell you though, I love spiked seltzer. This stuff's so good, man. You know, it's basically like you ever get those drinks, it's got all the, you know, synthetic fruit juice and all of that. So, you know, it's horrible, it's overly sweet, and it just, you know, it leaves you with a headache. This stuff, man, seltzer is so freaking good. And I mean, it's just, so good. I remember, you know, the college days and, you know, going out, and that was, that was back in the late 90s, early 2000s. I was down there, man. I was partying it up, keg parties every night, and you know, that was a good experience. It almost makes me wonder, and I mean, obviously, you know, I'm an old dude now, so you know, it just makes me wonder. You know, keg parties were the thing back in the, you know, in the late 90s, early 2000s. I wonder now if they do this seltzer stuff, or if they still do beer. Or, you know, what do they do? I mean, that's an interesting thing, man. But, yeah, so I've got, again, Rob from El Oak is going to be, we're going to be doing that show next week. Also with Hybrid Life, you know, as you mentioned, you know, we're going to get a live wristwatch related show. Oh, I saw green right there. Let me see if I can adjust that. Hold on. For next week, we're going to get a live wristwatch discussion up. Now, let me adjust the key edge here. Whoa, too much. That's what's so cool about this, man. You can just kind of nail it. Let's see. So that was the key edge. So that's That's key edge of 0. So you can still see a gap right there. Let's see. Let's see if we can get that. Dude, that's cool, man. Look, see now you can see through my shoulder. That's about 58%. Okay, I think that may actually be pretty convincing. Dude, that's cool, man. And I'm doing all of that through the Blackmagic ATEM Mini Pro software. So, you know, the beauty of this tool is that it's you know, the live stream is being handled by the Blackmagic device itself. But I'm connected to the device using software on my MacBook Pro called ATEM Software Control. And I need to post some more tutorials for this because a lot of people have asked me. I actually got a comment, several comments today from people especially interested in the live guest with an ATEM Mini Pro component. And something else I'm considering investing in for the studio is a, you know, I love Rode. This is a Rode microphone, but I'm considering getting a device that'll even provide even better audio quality for the live streams and also interface with my Blackmagic ATEM Mini Pro. You know, part of this is necessity, part of it is curiosity, and the other part is, you know, just a willingness and need to learn. So, you know, you get a new piece of production equipment, again, the ATEM Mini Pro that I'm using right now, you know, using this thing and just sitting down and casually going through everything and figuring out, you know, how does this work? How does that work? You know, it doesn't have to be a scripted broadcast. I mean, this is a live broadcast right now. But, you know, I'm getting this production quality with a somewhat congested network. I'm looking at my buffer and it's teetering around 99%, which is not good. But that's because my quality, this should be available in as high as 1080p 60. Brad says, hi, any shows tomorrow or Sunday you think? Brad, I'd love to have you on tomorrow. Let's see, Hybrid Life and I are going to do next weekend. So Hybrid Life and I will do the weekend of, let's see, that would be the weekend of the Friday the 17th, Saturday the 18th. Probably going to shoot for Friday. Friday's typically a better day than Saturday. Brad, do you want to do, let's see, today's the 10th. Brad, do you want to do a live show tomorrow on the 10th and talk about drones and cameras or whatever? I mean, you know, it's all free game. I think the drones would be a big thing. We can do, actually, if you want to, why don't we do an epic drone show tomorrow, Saturday, if you're available? Just let me know and I can schedule it. Let's see, this time right now it's about 9:08 p.m. So maybe we start a little bit earlier. Maybe we start at 7:30 Eastern, 7:30 New York. Is that good for you if we did 7:30 Eastern on Saturday? I'm just taking a note there. Yeah, I mean, if 7:30 Eastern, if that works for you tomorrow, actually tomorrow would be the 11th. Today is the 10th. If 7:30 p.m. Eastern works, that'd be cool. Man, I'm loving this Blackmagic. Is the audio good? Is the audio good? Is it too hot? Is it too soft? You know, I'm working on the audio, man. I'm trying to get, you know, when you turn on a TV show or whatever, and you hear the host, you know, look at what's his name, Jimmy Kimmel or Jimmy Fallon or anybody like that. You know, you hear them, they got this lavalier microphone, not this one, but a similar one. You know, do I need to improve the audio? Because if I do, you know, I'm working on some equipment to further improve the audio. I love Rode, R-O-D-E. R-O-D-E, they're an Australian company. And from my experience, man, it's like once you use one Rode microphone, then you're using other brands of microphones for your other equipment. And it's like, dude, you just don't have that consistently excellent audio. And it's like, I mean, I don't know. And again, I'm not sponsored by Rode or anything. I just love Rode. And it's just interesting stuff. But man, I got the studio monitor set up. I got that one over there, and then I got the one in front of me. And this is just good, man. I can't wait. And Brad, if you can do tomorrow, I can't wait to do the live component now that I've got the earbud piece, and we should be able to be face on video without all that gibberish we had in the background the last time with the audio issues and this, that, and the other. But yeah, Brad, just shoot me an email or a message on my Facebook page, and you know, we can be in touch tomorrow, you know, and coordinate a time for tomorrow afternoon. Well, tomorrow afternoon, early evening. You know, I don't want to do it during the day because I've got. Well, I mean, I work every day of the week, so when it comes to the daytime hours, man, you know, I'm working something here, working something there, so daytime hours are pretty much out. But pretty much any time after about 7 p.m. Eastern, I'm usually pretty loose. I try to schedule everything so I have that time down for relaxation and or YouTube live streams or whatever I need to do. Because you got to have, you know, you've got to work those downtime opportunities into your calendar, otherwise you don't get them. So let's see, what do we have? Let's see, we got, I'm scrolling over to my page here. Yeah, I think I've almost got these monitors, man, just like I want them. Here we go.
Let me show you.
Whoa, audio coming through. Whoa, watch out for that. That's the other thing, the audio in the studio. That's something I'd tell you the best thing I've done, man. And again, it wasn't a lot of Skrilla, cash, quid, whatever you want to call it. But adding that Godox light right there, that Godox light has made the shadow on the other side of my face go away. It's also helped with the green screen. And I tell you, Godox, if you're looking for lights, man, check them out. They're on my website. I'll be right back. I got to refresh this delightful beverage. Oh yeah. I'll be right back. I'm pouring my tasty beverage. Oh yes. Back again. A different aroma to this one. Admittedly, took a day off of the cardio. I've taken an extended break from the gym because of the current situation, and I've contemplated, and I don't know if I want to invest in it, but I've contemplated building a home gym. But I don't want to do that because when all this crud goes away, you want to when you work out at home, you're not motivated. When you work out in the gym, you got all these other people, they're pumped up, they're mad. You know, it makes you work out better than just working out at a home gym. So I want to try to avoid the home gym, but I don't want to avoid it forever because then I get really out of shape, and you know it's not a good situation. So, well, that was weird. That loop quit. I'd mentioned that on a previous live show. I probably need to update this the device I'm using to do the backdrop. It's just an old Apple TV. I mean, if it works, it works. You know, I'm all about a budget. You know, I'm sitting here trying to run this professional YouTube channel on a budget. But if I need to upgrade a little something here and there, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. Again, the term ROI, which is return on investment, very important term. You know, if you spend money for a business frivolously and you don't get anything in return, it's not worth it. But if you spend a little bit here and there, and if it's a situation where it's like, well, I could spend this and I could get this quality, but what if I spent just a little bit more? Would that provide the best ROI, the best return on investment over the long haul? So, you know, there's a lot of things that, you know, that a host of a YouTube channel, the CEO of a business, you know, whatever they may be, they should take into consideration, because, you know, all of those expenses are important, and they can negatively and or positively impact a business. So, you know, I think it's something to consider. So what I'm thinking, man, I think I'm gonna get a pizza, man. I'm hungry. I want a pizza. I've been eating chicken wings. Maybe I'll get some wings to go with my pizza. That is an interesting idea. Pizza and wings. It's a good idea. But yeah, it's just kind of a weird, you know, it's a Friday. Like I said, I've had a lot of projects. I've been business overload, man. And, you know, that's, sometimes it just happens. But yeah, I think what we need to do, Brad, we'll get on tomorrow, which is the 11th, which is Saturday. We'll get on tomorrow and we'll talk about drones. We'll do, you know, whatever. I wanted to run this show tonight just as a stress test of the equipment, the Blackmagic A10 Mini Pro. Because so far, I mean, unless y'all are noticing video and or audio issues, so far it seems that this live stream has held up pretty well from a video and audio quality perspective. You know, at least from what I'm seeing in the studio. You know, again, I'm not seeing what y'all are seeing. I'm just seeing the lighting on the field monitor, in the studio monitor, and then also the audio levels. And, you know, I'm just seeing what anyone in the control room would see. So, you know, obviously this being an independent YouTube channel, you know, I don't have a control room full of staff. So, you know, the control room is what I'm seeing. I'm seeing this big freaking zit on my face, man. It's just not good. It is what it is, you know. Am I going to not do a live show because I got a pimple on my face? Heck no. Got to do the live show. So, yeah, this show has pretty much been a ramble about, it's been a busy week, and going to do a really cool show tomorrow night. And I'm testing the Blackmagic A10 Mini Pro. So there hasn't been a lot of, admittedly, there has not been a lot of substance to this show. But again, looking at, and I full screen my program views. So keep in mind as I'm looking at this, and I'll post some other videos for people that are curious about the Blackmagic A10 Mini Pro. You can do what's called multi-view, and you can see the preview, you can see the program view, or you can flip full screen. So what I'm seeing now is what y'all are seeing. I'm seeing in my studio monitor, and it's a, I've got my lower third, which is down here. You got that little boat, my boat. You got IrixGuy's Adventure Channel, and you got this little satellite dish over there. So I can see all of that. That is a media file. So that's a PNG 1920 by 1080 image. The background is my Apple TV. It's another video source, and I'm using what's called chroma key or green screen to superimpose that. Because see, if I go to this and I take the keying off, oops, not that, hold on. So see, that's what you see without the green screen. You just see my green screen. But what you'll notice now when you're looking at this green wall is how there's an absence of shadows. Because what I've done with the Godox lights, is that I've created a consistent green. Now there's shadows. See, if I put my hand close there, you can see a shadow, and that can negatively impact the performance of the green screen. But just sitting here, talk show style, you don't see green, you don't see shadows. You see a somewhat, now it's a little bit darker over there. I've got to work on that. Opportunity for improvement. But, you see a somewhat consistent and well-lit green. And then me, I should be well-lit because I got these Godoxes right here in front of me. So I got a Godox here and a Godox there. You can see the light on my hands. And then I got a Godox over there and a Godox over there. John Spizzo, or Spizzo. Welcome back, man. Long time subscriber and greatly appreciate it. I'm going to put my green screen backdrop back up to celebrate your appearance. So we got John here. John says, hello, my friend. Hello, John. Good to have you, as always, man. Let's see. Brad says, did you hear the Mavic 3 rumors were not the Mavic 3? I did hear that. Well, probably a lot of that was the product of, they did a mild refresh of the Mavic 2. So, a lot of that was probably the, drone show tomorrow night. So stay tuned for that invite because Brad and I are going to be on there. Brad and I will be on there live. We'll be chatting about drones, face on video. John says, sorry, I'm late, bro. Hey, man, no problem. Because tomorrow, if you're available, I'm going to send out that invitation in advance. Brad and I are going to be there face on video. So there'll be no excuse to be late. You'll have advance notice for tomorrow night's live show. Brad says around 9 p.m. Eastern. That sounds good. 9 p.m. Eastern, so it shall be 9 p.m. Eastern, Brad, Saturday. I'm adding that to my notes. Dude, I'll get the show, the thumbnails and all that good stuff set up, and I'm going to send it out early, so hopefully we'll have a huge audience, and that'll be a fun Saturday evening. John says, still loving my Mavic Air 2. Dude, Mavic Air 2, honestly, the best drone yet. I mean, it doesn't have quite the low light performance of the Mavic 2 Pro because it doesn't have a 1-inch sensor. But the autofocus, just the overall battery life, handling, portability, I mean, it's a little bit smaller, it's a little bit lighter than the Mavic 2. Just an amazing drone, man. Amazing value, amazing performance. I mean, it really is. And again, it always, leaves one to question, what's next from DJI? Because DJI has just been putting out such awesome stuff, man. Let's see. Let me pop open my little doohickey here. Program view, multi-view. So what I'm going to do, actually, we've been on the air for 53 minutes, and I'm going to send out, what you saw in the comments from Brad. We're going to be going live at 9 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. New York City time on the 11th, which is tomorrow, which is Saturday. So go ahead and mark your calendar. Tonight's show was kind of an unscheduled. Well, it wasn't kind of. It was a. John says Spizo. There you go, John Spizo. I appreciate that, man. So John, it's not Spizo, it's Spizo. Spizo. I will remember that. And if I ever mispronounce your name, just call me out, dude, because that's what I'm here for. John says, what time? Tomorrow, Saturday evening at 9 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. New York City time. So we're going to be, Brad and I will be on. We'll be talking about drones. Now that I've did this tonight, did the little live studio thing, made sure the audio's good, made sure the lighting's good. Again, I got this number 4 of 4 Godox that's in the studio, and it's working well, and I feel confident that I can just fire up and, bring Brad in, and, we'll hit the ground running. We'll talk about drones. We'll answer questions. We'll have a good time. So, get your, plan ahead, get your popcorn, get your drinks, whatever you want, your snack food, have all that ready, because it's going to be a fun show, I hope. So, on that note, everyone, and John Spizo, really appreciate it. On that note, what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this live show